Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to commemorate the life of our good friend Bones' voice. When the cold struck, it was merciless, and it took our very own bones from us. Well, his voice, at least. Swain, keep it together. I'm giving a eulogy. This is really important for me. It's a big moment. But let's not forget the good times we had with Bones' voice before he lost it due to a cold. Let's not think of the bad times where he said mean things to us. Let's think of the good times when he said weird things to us and we
or when he raps.
Found it funny. Or when he raps with his beautiful voice.
So good.
Will he ever rap again?
Such a good voice.
Probably. I mean, I'm sure he's going to be fine. But this week, it's just us. Or maybe not. We haven't recorded the whole thing yet. So stay tuned. And remember in your heart, our dear friend Bones' voice.
Stars out of my eyes again. The musing's rolling on. The spine of yesterday. I see them start to rain. The glory shining on. My prayers and memories.
Hey, Swain.
Hi, friends.
A little bit quiet here at Crucible Radio headquarters today.
Yeah, it's extra quiet. It's how I like it.
Dead silent in our underground bunker. Yeah, folks, this is gonna be kind of a weird episode. Bones, his voice is on the mend, but it's not there yet. He not gonna be talking. So Swain and I are gonna hold down the fort, or maybe not. Maybe we'll record some other stuff later because it's Thursday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got some interesting news today. And something that we kind of had to last minute react to as far as our recording schedule goes. And of course, Birds here is going to be leaving, be out of town as of tomorrow. Yeah. So recording gets a little bit weird.
So there's going to be a big announcement. Yeah, maybe you guys can talk about it a bit tomorrow and through the magic of
in the later
audio
parts.
Recording. Yeah, it'll just be a continuous timeline. But for now, it's just us.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what this update is. Live team thing. So I'm guessing it's like an event of some kind.
Yeah.
Another 2-weeker.
I would love to see, me wish listing here, them laying out what's coming up. Because when they do drop hey, we're going to be doing these sorts of things, they drop them and this week we're going to have a live stream of this. And the next week after that, we're going to have a live stream of that. And after that, another live stream, and then it goes live, and it's 4 weeks of hype, and you're like, oh, this is gonna take forever, and then all of a sudden it comes out, and you're like, wait, what? Where did all that time go? Anyway, I think we got some big stuff on the horizon as far as content goes. I think we're gonna see some stuff maybe at the beginning of April, hopefully, maybe sooner, but that's my best guess. Beginning of April, and then. Possibly hints, maybe hints at the sequel of Destiny.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, it's got to be coming, right? It's got to be out there.
We heard that earnings call 2017.
Yeah, the earnings call, and the hype machine's coming. I think even Derek Carroll on Twitter hinted at no, I think it was Luke Smith. Luke Smith was hinting about dropping his big thing later in the year so he could play other video games. And someone was like, what do you mean? And he was like, So something's coming, guys. And
Luke Smith, walking hype machine.
I hope it's Destiny 2. I would love to get a little bit of a hint, maybe even if it's just them, a title screen that says Destiny 2 E3. And you're all right, cool. We're going to get some shit at E3. The internet will explode. Anyway.
It certainly will.
So we got that coming. We're going to do more talking about it later in the episode. So
most likely
I'll be able to react to my own thoughts later in the episode.
There you go. Maybe I'll phone in a reaction segment that's just me howling.
Anyway,
well, hey, can I tell you about something non-Destiny related real quick?
sure.
Bonesy knows about it because he was there. I had my birthday party last weekend. Thank you, everyone who sent me birthday wishes. I was shocked to like drop it on the show a couple weeks ago in passing and have all these people hit me up on Twitter saying nice things. I love you all. We had such a good time. The missus planned me what I envisioned to be the perfect 8-year-old's birthday party. We went to Sky Zone, which is an indoor trampoline place. I think we had like 11 or 12 people or so. So like a nice sized crew. And we just jumped on trampolines for an hour. And then they had this one where you jump on the trampoline and then you do like flips into the foam pit. And I was afraid because I'm not really a guy who goes upside down very often. But my final one, I just visualized it. It had the perfect Sports Like Steve visualization. I executed the perfect flip. No one saw it, but it definitely happened. It counts. And then they have one of the trampoline areas that's set up for dodgeball. So we played like 8v8 dodgeball that was half of our group on either side, plus like a bunch of 10-year-olds too. And that's nice because you want to get your friends out, but if you're just trying to bring up your dodgeball KD, you really want some little kids who don't move very fast so you can really beat them with the ball. And then after that, we went to a pizza restaurant and had pizza and cake. And my cake had dinosaurs on it and candles. And the missus got me this Nerf revolver that's like the most fun toy I've ever gotten. It's like the Wingman Elite from Titanfall, if you're familiar.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was just like the best adult kid birthday party I've ever had. So much fun.
Little fact about me. I once did a backflip into a foam pit on a bike.
What?
Back when I was a BMXer, what was I like? I was probably like 16 when I did it.
Wait, so the evolution of Swain Bikery goes regular bike, BMX, velodrome, psychotic bike messenger, the change of career.
Messenger was before the velodrome.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
So when you do a backflip on a bike into a foam pit, you kind of have to like throw the bike away from you so you don't land on it, right?
No, you land. You want to land on it so that you can kind of transfer it to like right next to it is like a resin jump. So like you land on resin essentially. So it's a little bit softer of a fall if you do. So you go into the foam pit first, and then once you feel confident there, you go to the resin and you do the backflip there. And then if you feel really confident, you do it on a regular ramp. But I only did it in the foam pit. I even got a picture.
Yeah.
I got a picture of me doing it somewhere. Anyway,
that's awesome. You should post that picture
if I could find it. I'll post it.
There you go. All right, back to Destiny, because of course this is Crucible Radio, the show for all things Destiny PvP.
PvP.
You mentioned Luke Smith on Twitter. You also pointed out earlier, I think we owe a shout out to Mr. Josh Hamrick. He has been all over Twitter and just like the most like patient individual, just answering question after question after question about
anything, really.
about all the stuff the sandbox. Yeah, anything, but like everything in the sandbox, some of the rationale behind the changes, taking feedback too, like taking suggestions, taking stuff into consideration.
I think Twitter's a tough place because like you only have 140 characters. So like getting into complex talks about balancing and all that, it's tough. But he is pretty good at giving you like short answers or short, follow-ups. And then he takes the advantage of doing longer notes on the Bungie website when it comes to the TWAB. I think one of them recently was just like over the weekend. There was like a blog post that was like, hey, this is what we're planning to do. We see this happening. And that's refreshing. Kind of after some time where we weren't really getting much. And like that's the holidays, but like still we're in quite a drought as far as communication was concerned, as to what they're intending to do, what they have in the works, all that. And it's like a breath of life to see all this communication, see all this like descriptions, charts, and even like reacting like, oh God, like it sucks that they like in that live stream, they just didn't have an answer for Scories then and there. But to immediately afterwards be like, hey, we're going to take care of it. Like because of the, the reaction. So they're listening. They're very much listening to what we're saying and our opinions. I do think a little bit is them wanting to feel out some of their changes. So they're not going to immediately roll back something that the community dislikes. Seeing a lot of people that were just like way upset about the Blade Dancer nerf, but kind of feel like they want it to play out a little bit longer. So lots of things. And, to compare it to other games, like a lot of other games are doing quite a good job at communicating what they intend to do, what they're currently doing, and being, in your face about it, even communicating like on their forums and with other people. So it's nice to see Bungie taking the right step.
I mean, it's a crazy world we live in where it's like, you don't just buy a game and play it. I'm old. That's what I'm used to. You just have this ongoing relationship with not only the game and the content, but with the people who make the game, which is just like something I never considered. And like, hey, look, I'm not going to agree with every change they've made or, resonate with the rationale they give, but to just like go out there and talk to people and stand by your statements and answer questions and just like be available.
Talking to people is tough, man.
Yeah, that is tough. So anyone who's willing to put themselves out there for the good of the game is okay in my book.
Yeah, we always joke about this. I think we've joked about it on the show before, but like my back in my day when you got a game and that's all you had. You played it, glitches and everything. You played it all. I think one of the worst glitches that made me like quit a game was God of War 1. I think the first one that came out. I got the bundle, like it came with 1, 2, and 3. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play through this. I'm gonna have so much fun. I'm like really into it. Like the first one, I'm like, all right, cool. This is like a fun game. And I'm like going around, and like maybe 4 hours or so in, there's like this glitch that happened where I couldn't progress. It would freeze up every time I loaded in. And I had saves right before then, so I'd go to that save, and then I would like try and go further. And as soon as I got to that area, it would stop again. I even went back to the beginning and started over and got to that point, and it happened again. So I put it down and never played it again.
Man, when I was in 7th grade, people can reverse engineer how old I was. Pokemon Red came out for Game Boy, and I guess it was Red and Blue, and I bought it day of, and I played the shit out of that game, and it was my life. Like this was before everyone knew about EVs or IVs. I don't even know if that existed, but like I put so much time into my team, and then I just turn on my Game Boy one day, and it's like save file corrupted, and I take it back to Toys R Us where I bought it because that's where you bought games back then, and they were like, yeah, we see that. We can do an exchange if you want. And it's like, no, I want my Pokemons. If Nintendo had a forum and Twitter accounts, I would have lost my mind at them. But brave new world. All right, let's talk about some Destiny. We got Iron Banner Supremacy going on this week. And I don't know about you, but Supremacy is definitely my favorite incarnation of Iron Banner.
Yeah, I could see Supremacy being up there.
You can see it being my favorite. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's your favorite.
I enjoy it. I could make a case for my personal favorite being Rift, but
okay. See, that's interesting because you're a movement guy. You're all jetting around. You like to rapidly reposition, get up, be death from above. I get that. Me, I may dart forward, grab a crest, and shade step back, and then put my stick on the wall to block off. Like my favorite thing is being 1v4, getting one kill, and just leaving the crest in the middle, and then waiting for them to get it and just womboing, and waiting for all 4 of them to try and get the crest and get me, and then just go clean up. It is. I don't know, and I like the idea that in Supremacy you can contribute in two ways. You can slay, make lots of kills. Risky though, you need a team. I love that it encourages people to play with teams, but you also can be a very effective contributor to the team just by collecting crests, just by team shooting, collecting crests, and making big plays. Like if there's 3 crests, go for them because that's 6 more points for your team at the cost of, maybe 2 for the enemy team if you die. And I think that rewards people more than Clash does, who aren't necessarily the top player in their lobby.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, like, for me, it's been tough to adjust to, simply because my playstyle is kind of like interact with someone further away, or at least like just far enough away that like it's hard to collect the crests. Especially lately, I've just been like trying to get as many ridiculous Queensbreakers shots as I can. So like translating that to Iron Banner was tough because you get the kill and it's all the way across the map. And it's like, oh, that's going to get picked up. So you don't get the points for collecting as well. So, and even so with like regular fusion rifles, you're usually just far enough away that like that it increases the chance that someone else is going to pop up and grab that and before you do. Yep. So, my playstyle is a little different for that, but I'm genuinely enjoying it. It's fun. I love playing Supremacy in general. So this one's been fun. I actually am more interested in the guns that are dropping this time around. Yep. Weirdly, the last time Iron Banner came around, I had the Laughing Heart drop for me.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. And then I had a couple drop. They had Bobo rolls, so they were infusion fuel. But you like that gun. Tell me what you like about it again.
I love that gun. And weirdly,
it sounds cool.
That's part of it. The pros, it can revive snipe, has pretty fucking high stability already, and an above average reload speed, and pretty high aim assist. So all of that combined gives you this like weird, like quick sniper. It feels in your hands like you're shooting a sniper from year one with how snappy it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. The aim assist though on it is pretty fun. You end up with like these crazy like shots that you didn't think you could do, especially like if you're hip firing one.
Yeah.
It's got an average mag size and equip speed, so you can't like really blint people all that easy. And it can't super snipe. It can revive snipe, but it can't super snipe. So it gets a little weird in that. I
don't know about you, but like unless it's threes and we've got the advantage, I am not going to be trying to super snipe. I hear that roaming super pop, and it's like I'm booking it.
The meta seems to be leaning on roaming supers. So getting the revive snipe, well, not getting a snooper snipe on someone isn't as common as it used to be when someone would like, when Golden Gun goes off and it's like, oh, he's just going to stand there for a second while he like activates and you shoot him while he's doing it. But I love this sniper rifle. And if you have the time, grind it out, get yourself a pretty decent roll. You were looking for primarily hidden hand on it. You kind of want to like up that aim assist even more. And maybe even in the middle perks, you want to go for either quick draw, snapshot. Those are nice to have. And I don't know. The other one is like a toss in the air. I personally like one with brace frame.
Yeah, I feel like sniper perks are a little bit less defined, especially when it comes to the range and stability boosters, just because it depends so much on the base stats of the gun. Like, how does the gun feel and what does it need? I mean, obviously, hidden hand is nice, and like stuff like replenish. Oh my God! All of a sudden, replenish is something worth giving a shit about. Like,
right? Replenish is so weird. The other gun is the Lingering Song. That is the ridiculously high range, low rate of fire hand cannon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really high impact. So it even has the possibility of killing low armor players with 2 crit shots.
Yeah, I'm struggling with this one. I've had so many lingering songs dropped, and the one I ended up sticking with has got rifled barrel, rangefinder, and lightweight explosive rounds. But it's got max range, like crazy range on this thing. I find in 6s, it is an effective team shotting gun because that high impact is so great for cleanups, even if you're just bodying. I have not had much luck with it when playing aggressive.
So here's the thing. Fallout kind of got into it earlier in the week when Iron Banner dropped. And I very much agree with him on this. It is not your go-to hand cannon. It is novelty. Treat it like novelty. Don't treat it like, oh, I'm going to get a good roll on this and it's going to replace my IS Luna. Or it's going to replace my palindrome from the vendor. It's not. It's really not going to. You are trying to put into this gun some sort of novelty where you just have fun with it and you get some crazy 2 shots or you get some crazy like luck in the chamber rolls. So honestly, the best roll you could get would be small bore, feather mag, and luck in the chamber. It can get
4 shots.
Get it down to 4 shots in the chamber. One of them is lucky, and it hits like a truck. So you can get a lucky bullet in there and just have it just 2-tap, and you're like, oh, this is just ridiculous. So treat it that way, enjoy it that way, but don't try and. This is my advice. Don't go and look for something that like maxes out the range because it's already got pretty maxed out ranged.
Oh, that's a good point. I actually had, and it was from one of the bounties. I had a clever dragon drop. I was out of town the first time they came around. I mean, I've got grasps. I've got my beloved 123 Zisigi. I think I'm saying that right, but if I didn't, you'll correct me. I gotta say, I personally don't really notice the rate of fire change. Seems fine. But man, especially in 6s, that mag size is killing me, man. It's killing me. With brace frame on, it's down to what, like 18 in the mag? That's not a lot of bullets, man. It's Swain. It's not very many bullets.
Was that like 3 or 4 bursts?
6.
Oh man, I'm off on that. Anyway, it's still not a lot. Like
people give him credit because it is the fastest 3-shot burst if you're landing crits. But maybe you got better aim than me. I'm not doing a lot of perfect 3-round bursts with this thing. I'm doing a ton of like 4 or 5-round bursts and leaving them absolute. And then they run around a corner and their buddy pops out and I've got 1 bullet left. Like
just standing there reloading.
Yeah, not for me. I've got one. It's got a decent roll on it. I'll keep it. It's a 400. But I also just say, and it's like, look, I'm not embarrassed to say this. I made a conscious decision that in order for me to stay engaged with Destiny, I was going to focus on doing just the things I want to do. I'm not going to do the raid. Never going to do a strike again. Now that's not fun, but like been there, done that. I've had the experience. It's not fun. I'm going to play Rumble. I'm going to play pubs when I have time, I'll pop in. Even
do
trials.
Some customs with us.
Yeah. It's about the things that are fun. I'm just not interested in the grind. And so it is with that in mind that I am not embarrassed. I'm a little embarrassed to say 400 light. I just like Banner and SRL are like the only like light boosting activities or like light maxing activities that are just that appealing to me. And you miss 1 or 2 and just, I don't know.
Fall behind.
I should just fall behind. I mean, unless honestly, if you're above 390, you're fine. But yeah, that arbitrary goal has been achieved. Grind complete. I would say the main thing I've been working on this Iron Banner is using everything but sidearms. I've like my Iron Wreath was the first thing I put to 400. I love that gun. It is probably my default go-to in this meta. But I've been having a lot of fun with fusions and snipers, both because you don't have to load shells individually. I was playing with Chaperone for a bit, and Chaperone's a lot of fun in this meta, especially when your goal is just to like get rid of your special ASAP because you're probably going to lose it. But I've been having a blast with fusions and pulling some weird ones out of my vault. And you want to know the two that I've really come to like the most in this meta?
No.
Okay, let's move on then.
No, please tell me.
Okay. One of them is A Worlds to Come 001. It's a dead orbit.
The newest one?
I think so. Anyways, mine has got rangefinder, hammer forged, quick draw, knee pads, and reflex on it.
So this is like the right below Plan C one.
I believe, yeah. What's
it's definitely
Plan
not
C is.
It's not the
22.
Yeah.
This is 22 charge rate. No, this is same archetype as Plan C.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, these are my legendary Plan Cs. Not as good as Plan C. But you want to know the one that has really just become my fave, and it's not even like the best roll. I just really like looking at this gun and shooting it, is Pantaray. Same archetype. This archetype seems to be the sweet spot of as fast as possible, but still consistently one-hit killing. This one's got braced frame, accelerated coils, hip fire, and grenadier on it. And I just love the way it sounds. I just love charging it. Like, it's such a visceral thing, but
I threw this out there like at the beginning of, before the patch came out. And I think there's a place for these archetypes of fusion rifles going forward. Actually, like, currently fusion rifles are in a weird place. Got an unintended nerf in some playlists from the changes. Yeah. Indirectly, obviously, but Trials took a big hit. Like, last week's Trials kills was 0.71 with fusion rifles.
Oh, I can't argue with that. That is painful.
That is not a lot. It's like out of like millions, it's like 100,000 kills or something like that. Anyway, in sixes, I think they do just fine. Simply because there's a plethora of ammo being dropped, and you kind of you find yourself at a box from here to here. And a lot of times, especially with a lot of sidearms on the board, you come across a box no one cares for.
Oh, hey, public service announcement. Hey, all you dum-dums, I understand you have sidearm ammo, but could you please just pop open the box anyways? We don't want to give the other team shotgun shells and sniper shells and fusion goop. What do you put? It's just a box full of goop. Just
there you go.
Do some vooping and some gooping.
Anyway, pick up those boxes because you don't want to give them to the other one. You want to deny special
the enemy team. Also, hey, Supremacy PSA, pick up the fucking crest. What's the matter with you? Why are you just standing there? I died for that crest and two others. All you have to do is run through them. Just pick them up and die, you idiot. Sorry, I'm cool. I will say, I agree with you that fusions have got a place in sixes. I think this archetype
I was just about to say the archetype, like the fast firing ones, should be in more hands. At least I think like I haven't done it myself, to be honest, but I think the idea of not using them before was simply because shotguns in that range that you would use them in, those like fast firing ones, shotguns always dominate. But there's just not as many shotguns around. So I think if you playing aggressive and you are used to playing aggressive and you are in someone's face like you would with a shotgun, I think there's a place for these fast firing fusion rifles to really shine. Those are the ones that can run like Icarus and knee pads and like have fun and mix up your movement abilities, as well as add to like the stability of them. So if you got a good roll on a fast firing fusion rifle, try it out. Send me your clips. I want to see how good you do.
Yeah. I mean, and to be clear, we're not talking about split shifter here. Not that fast.
Not that far.
Even if you picked up that pre-Rise of Iron, I think it was the Vortex that had a great roll on it. I tried so hard, but you just can't one-hit kill with it consistently. I think that Supremacy is the perfect game mode for this archetype.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that in Supremacy, a lot of times I'm going to be like you have to roll with the team. You have to be the wolf pack. You can't go alone.
Team
and
shots.
there are situations where, and like Black Shield is a perfect map. Like pick your entrance to the inside, whether it's tunnel or either of the doors.
We had the worst team. Well, not the worst team, but we went up against a team of people the other night that were just inside Black Shield and using Scories in Iron Banner. What? Don't you want to play fast? Like, that's just Supremacy.
I mean, I don't know about no Scories, but if you want to win Iron Banner Supremacy on Black Shield, just control inside. You can just run it the whole game.
Yeah, control inside, but like maybe pop out every once in a while.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got to sweep it. But here's the thing. Here's like on Black Shield, you've got those 3 engagement points where if you're inside, you have the advantage as long as you stay inside. So tunnel and both of the doors. And there are a lot of situations where there's a big exchange from a group trying to push in. They lose a bunch, but they still outnumber me. Oftentimes it'll be me inside just harassing them and smoking and womboing the crest so they can't pick them up. But I'm not trying to run out and just get sniped. And so in that situation, having a fast firing fusion that says like, all right, I got my grenade, I got my smoke. Even if you do try and push it though, I'm just the moment you try and peek out, I might not kill you, but I'm going to do some damage to you. It's such an effective zone control technique. And that's what Supremacy is all about. All these little capture points that pop up when enough people die in the same spot. And in that case, I might just be waiting 5 seconds for my teammate who just respawned to give me some cover. So if I die, it's not a complete shit show. Or be a human shield while I go pick up those crests.
Take the bullets for me.
Hey, they don't seem to mind. Can I tell you something else? You want to know what my new favorite map is? I can't believe I'm saying this. My new favorite map for sixes. My new favorite map for sixes is Crossroads.
Nah.
Because what I realized is like I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. And so I just sort of play around the main area a lot. Or if they all went to the far away, I'd go to the far away. But what I realized you do in Crossroads is you hop in a portal and you're in the far away now. You've got your wombo ready. You and this is Night Stalker. So I'll peek through the portal and before I can even see, I'll check my radar. If they're not right on top of me, I'll immediately shoot someone in the side of the head because they don't expect to see you there, especially if there's an engagement going on. If they do see me, I just shade step back. And if they come through, I've got them dead to rights. And so I just run through one portal and out another. And I'm just checking portal, just like it is instant flank. The flank possibilities are so powerful. And there was, I was watching another player do it on my team and started copying it. And the two of us went off and we didn't mercy them, but it was like 120 to 55 or something. They could never, it's the perfect flank. You're instantaneously behind them, behind their lines, and they didn't even see you try to push. It's like a non-push. It's hilarious. I love it.
That does sound fun.
All right. Well, what else you got going on?
Well, this week I picked up a little something that I'm hoping to use a lot more to engage with our fans, engage with Patreons, a little bit of everyone. And that is an Xbox One with Destiny.
Yep.
I am a glutton for punishment and starting over.
You get Dan to grind it for you.
Can't just pay someone to find me stuff. But no. In a time like now where there's not as many new stuff going on and interest in Destiny starts to wane, you kind of want to do something else. This has great potential for me because there's so much to do. Like it's an entire new account. There's plenty of things to grind, loot to get. I find myself looking at Zur. I'm like, all right, what's Zur? Hopefully Zur is going to be selling some stuff this weekend.
You finally care about Zur again.
Yeah, I'm the one guy. Yeah, Zur, please bring me a Mida. A Mida would be great.
Did you manage to scrounge up enough coins to get yourself Twilight?
I didn't. I got busy, but I will still be going at it, and I still will be going into Crucible on there. So if you want to be friends and you want to give me a hand, hit me up on Xbox. It's just Swain Stash. I finally got the just Swain Stash. God damn it.
Someday yeah. PSN will let you name change.
I've done it before. It's not too big of a grind, but like, especially with the addition of the Spark of Light, you're immediately level 40, and you're not you're not finding yourself like, oh, I've got to level up all the way, and I can't use any of the good guns until I hit that level. Nah, it's quick. You just throw it in there. I basically skipped ahead I skipped right to Taken King missions so that I can get Sunbreaker right away. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'll be just mainly leveling out my Sunbreaker.
Well, I find that horrifying, and I would never ever do it. But Godspeed to you. Or maybe if there was a way to get to 400 quickly, only playing Rumble and Sixes pubs, but there's not. Yeah. That's cool. Well, no, but I think that really opens the door. Like you mentioned, playing with the Patreon people, we can
tournaments,
Xbox tournaments now.
Yeah,
big development. Crucible Radio, boys, diversifying. All right. Well, I want to talk about something that I've been meaning to do, and I want your take on it. I know Bones' take on it. He was the one who got me thinking about it. The topic is vault cleaning, and not just deleting that stuff that you're never going to use because your vault's completely stuffed, but really getting rid of crap you don't want. And I realized that my goals were pretty simple. Mm-hmm. When it comes to weapons, I've got a couple like emotional things. Like I've got my first legendary that I played the whole story mode in the back in the day, my Badger CCL with the shitty roll. I'm never going to get rid of that. I've got a couple year one guns like my Zysagy that are just genuinely good if you're in a non-light level mission. But aside from that, I guess, sort of talking about, you had mentioned like Lingering Song as the novelty roll where it's 4 in the chamber with a lucky. I want everything in my vault to be something that I would use. So like this, like I try and do the same thing with my wardrobe where like you can just get dressed in the dark and everything
works. Yeah.
Yeah. It just works. I've got stuff in here. I've got like a Lord High Fixer in here with, Hammer Forged and Rangefinder on it. And it's like, that's cool, but I'm never like this gun is competing with Vendor Palindrome and Favorite AS Luna. I'm never going to prefer it over one of those.
Yeah.
I should just get rid of it. Right.
So my big thing here is I immediately went into the vault and got rid of almost all the exotics I don't use.
Yeah.
Gone. I mean, that's the first step. The first step is getting rid of all of these exotics that you don't use. You are, a couple of marks and some motes of light away from having it back. You just go to the tower, get it out of the kiosk, hit it with the, special ammo telemetry, and you immediately have it back up there in 2 minutes tops. So having them in your vault is just a fast track to like clutter. So keep the ones that you like to use. Keep the ones that are fun. Keep the ones that fit the meta currently, and just have them laying around in other. Maybe put them on your Warlock or your Hunter when you're not using them. But
you assume I'm using a Titan 24/7. But okay,
I'm only talking to Titan people that use Titans.
Okay.
So. But like you said, and like we said earlier, is that a lot of this stuff is novelty. It's never been in the meta. It probably will never be in the meta. Yep. As far as something that's just going to be used by everyone. Those are few and far between. You find them every once in a while. Even this change didn't really find much of a change in metas aside from sidearms. So there's not going to be this drastic change back and forth, going forward. But what we're trying to get at is don't really hold on to like the tier 2 versions of some guns simply because like, oh, this might be good sometime and this is the only one I've gotten. Those tier 2 versions are like just even in that meta, they won't be good. Go for the stuff that is novelty, like the Lucky. Like I have an Ill Will that has that same loadout as the Lingering Song. I have that in my vault, but that's just for if I want to break it out and maybe go for some silly like 2 taps every once in a while. There's not much to it other than that, and that's kind of how I focus my vault, like vault tuning and my vault economy is just kind of going through and finding which ones I think I'll use and which ones I just want to keep around because they're cool. I do have some stuff in my vault that is like emotionally tied, but it's not a lot of stuff. And I'm starting to get to the point where I'm just like, you know what? I'm ready for some new. I'm ready for some new stuff. Even if things carried over to Destiny 2, I really wouldn't want to use the old stuff in Destiny 2.
Yeah.
It'd be more as like I said, a novelty. It'd be like, oh, look at my year 1, gun that I've kept for the entire time. And then you go into the Crucible with it in Destiny 2 and it just sucks. So
there's so you touch on something. There's a difference between saving your best roll in every archetype and saving your best roll in every gun. I've got I'm looking at my vault right now. I've got an elevating vision here, which, hey, it's a hard hitting fusion rifle. There are some amazing elevating visions out there. Mine isn't amazing. Mine has got relentless tracker and injection mold on it. I am never going to use this gun. If I want something in that archetype, I'll just pull out Saladin's Vigil. I don't need, it's even slower than that. But still, I've got better guns in that archetype. And I think especially for stuff that you can get back, like there's no reason to have a found verdict in your vault, period. I have one in my vault.
You get them so easy.
Yeah. Like if you ever need one back, you can just go get it, but it's not relevant and there's just better choices. And I think because I'm like comparing it to a wardrobe, I think what happens is that when you have a vault full of crap, you can never find what you want. You don't end up touching any of it. It's all just like a blob of stuff that you're saving in your vault as icons. When you know that the only stuff in your vault is something that you'd actually want to use, whether it's good or it's fun or it makes you feel good and nostalgic when you use it. Unless it's one of those, it's just clutter and it's distracting you from that good stuff there. So I guess my goal is to cut it down to just the guns I really love for one reason or another. So I could literally pull any loadout out of my vault and do some work with it. Not regret pulling it out. Easier said than done.
Yeah. And I've obviously, a little bit of disclaimer. If you like other weapons for some reason, keep them. Like we're not telling you to go and destroy your vault right now. We're just giving you some tips on what to keep. If you do need to decide between 2 Lord Hide Fixers, pick the one that fits like either the best roll or the novelty roll. Don't find something in between to try and make it work.
Or keep both of them, but get rid of that Arminius D that you got the first week of Taken King with the entirely mediocre roll on it. Get rid of it. Just cull the crap. Get rid of the crap that you'll never touch. You don't need it.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Before we get on with the rest of our show, we have a little ad from one of our sponsors, and that is Control Freaks.
Yeah.
We don't really have like an ad read here. We just kind of want to let you know about them and remind you that we do have a discount code for them. Control Freaks are these little nifty rubber additions that you put on top of your thumbsticks for your controllers. They come in all different shapes, sizes, colors, textures, all that. And they all fit different needs. Some of the best ones I personally found are the alphas. If you want something that's very low, like something that's very soft, it adds to your thumbstick rather than you just using that hard PlayStation controller thumbstick that's built in. You just have a little bit of something soft between your thumbs. And then I also go for like a medium, convex. So I look for something like that because I want a little bit more touch when I'm doing precise movements with my gun and shooting. Control Freaks are great for that. And we have a code for you, Birds.
All you got to do, go to controlfreak.com, enter offer code Crucible. It's so easy to do. And like, there's a lot of stuff out there you can buy in the gaming world to actually try and get an edge or whatever that's just something to spend money on. Control Freaks will actually make you better. Like they enable you. Yeah, they make you a better human being. I personally like the Destiny signature ones, especially on the right stick with your aiming. It just gives you such finer grained control. We're happy to sponsor them. We're all big fans. So show them some love and set yourself up.
Yeah, and send us some photos of your Control Freaks on your controller.
Do it up Birdsy style and get a colorful controller and then get Control Freaks in a completely different color that clash strongly.
Make your controller and your Guardian as ugly as possible.
Birds approved. All right. Well, we haven't recorded it yet because we don't know what's happening, but I suspect you and maybe, if you're feeling up to it, Bonesy are going to have a...
The ghost of Bonesy's voice.
The ghost of Bonesy's voice, who can only make scary ghost noises. Are going to talk about this update. Maybe you guys record that over the weekend once we find out what's up. And then after that, I did an interview with a fellow named Caleb who lives in Japan. He's a YouTuber. He talks about his life there. But he and I just got to talking out of the blue about the Japanese Destiny meta, which is fascinating because it's different. They have their own thing going on, and we get into it. I found it was fascinating. It's a cool little chat, so stay tuned.
Feeling guilty.
So as promised, I'm back, guys, with a very special guest, Bones from Crucible Radio. Hey, Bones.
Hey, Swain. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. As I said earlier, Bones is recovering. He's got a little bit of some voice box troubles. So he's going to tough it out. Because we got some news, guys.
I mean, I was going to skip the bulk of the episode, and then they're like, announcement Friday morning. And, of course, the hype train is now pulling out of the station.
Full steam ahead on the hype. It's really not a ton to talk about here. It's more so like hype on the hype.
Yeah, it's more like the announcer was just like, hype train departs in 5 minutes, and people are sort of like, oh, boy, time to... get my stuff together and hop on the train.
I gotta buy a ticket, man.
Yes. A few people are like, wait, that was today?
I actually went into today thinking that it was going to be a Twitch stream for some reason. So like
they were just going to go live.
Yeah, I don't know why I assumed that, but I went into it. I went downstairs like at work and I had like a sandwich to like eat for lunch. And I'm like, all right, I'm ready for the stream. And just realized that it's just an article on their website called The Road Ahead.
I liked the post on the Destiny the game that was just like, hey, $50 says this is just an article that says there's going to be a couple Twitch streams. And they're like, yep, figures.
Does Vegas take those bets?
I don't know. We could
probably.
I'd lose so much money on Destiny. I don't want to talk about that.
Anyway, guys, this is our first real, it's Bungie's first real acknowledgement of Destiny 2.
Yeah, they are calling it Destiny 1 in this article, and they say the word sequel, Destiny's first full sequel. Stuff is staying in Destiny 1, they say multiple times, but that's big, man. We accepted this years ago and decided in our brains that it was happening, but yeah, now it has been confirmed.
So, I mean, this is big. I'm excited. It means that like we're not looking at another full year of waiting around. We're not looking at a ton of speculation about like they're just going to fill in all these live events while Destiny 2 gets pushed back. There's a road here, guys. We got like a real roadmap going ahead here.
Mm-hmm.
So they are calling it the Age of Triumph, which will be the last little bit of celebration before Destiny 2 gets here.
I really like that because, we're thinking like, what's the next moments of triumph? Well, this is it. It's the Age of Triumph. It's kind of big third act for the whole concept of triumph that's been going on for a couple of years now.
It kind of gets you into this like mindset that like we're about to see some shit. Like Age of Triumph is saying like it's almost like the golden age, like they talk about in the game. Like this was the good time. We're about to hit some bad times.
Yeah, right.
But that's more so like lore, some speculation on some lore there. But
yeah, I guess conceptually there hasn't been any major threat on humanity in at least a couple months. So Guardians are maybe feeling like, oh, we've been battling this out for 3 years. We're getting pretty good at it. But the thing that stands out to me is that there are 3 streams. And of course, one is called Age of Triumph Reveal, Age of Triumph Weekly Rituals, and then Age of Triumph Sandbox Update. So I sort of take the Sandbox Update as to what we just saw with 2.5.0.2. Makes sense. We've been hearing the most about that. Then the Weekly Rituals thing, it's like, all right, so we'll talk about the specific activities, but if there's going to be a full Twitch stream about just revealing it, I'm trying to figure out what else that would be. Like what actually happens on the first Twitch stream besides the 2-minute trailer they do for these things.
Yeah, it looks like it's a lot of PvE and one Crucible thing on this little photo here, but I'm honestly expecting some raid redos, like some jumping back into the Vault of Glass. I got really nostalgic today, like thinking about all the time I spent like in Crota's End and like the thought of like grabbing some buds and getting back in it. It's actually like kind of cool.
I immediately started thinking about all the people who never learned how to carry a relic in any of the raids, and they're going to jump into raid teams. Maybe they've made friends since, and their raid teams who they have been playing with forever are going to go, you don't know how to run a relic? Get mad at them for not doing it.
Are we pushing Atheon off this time?
Yeah. Someone's going to suggest it.
That like watch that be like the technique you have to do for Atheon this time around. Like for the redo, it's just like, all right, to win, you got to push them off or something.
That would actually be amazing. That's like a very Mario style boss defeat move where you have to like trick Bowser to go over the edge or something.
Whoa. Just like precariously put on the side of a ledge.
Yeah, but I don't want to like hype myself up, but I don't know. Maybe there's more quality of life stuff happenings. Maybe they'll talk about the gear, because they did say, and perhaps the only real chunk of information in this whole thing is that gear is not being carried over into the sequel. And that's big. I mean, everyone knows that that's my favorite thing to hear. Well, that's the only big thing they gave us. So I don't know. Maybe they're going to talk about that, or at least what's happening to our gear. I don't know. I mean, there's new stuff to get, but it won't last long, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of see this as like the last hurrah for this whole Destiny 1 thing. Go out, get some cool gear, and get pumped up for like what's coming next. Because the way we've talked about it before, like, oh, clean out your vaults, don't get attached, like don't keep all the stuff you don't need. And they kind of they just confirmed it. Like, you're not going to have any of it. You're not going to have your weapons. You're not going to have your emblems. You're not going to have any of like the ships or anything. And some people may look at that as saying like, oh, well, oh, God damn it, Bungie, why'd you have to take away all my things? Which is reasonable in some cases when you spend money on it. But I see it as we're probably going to get a game that is so beyond those things. Like, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be some reason why we won't have them. Like emblems, maybe we have to create our own emblems. And why would you have emblems if you can just make one?
Yeah.
Weapons being different. Like, there's got to be like 1,000 different things that they've thought about ahead of time. That's just like, if we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some interesting stuff that's going to get people to play again, get people to have that feeling of Destiny 1 again, we're going to have to do something special.
Yeah, you and I both kind of had similar tweets about it, but it is going to be different. I mean, it will be very much Destiny as we know it in a lot of ways, but we don't know what mechanics or features are being added. And we are not going to be filling a vault with just more of the same. And I think that's the tough part, is that you're thinking about it now and you're like, so my vault just gets deleted and then I got to do it all over again. Like, in some sense, yes, but that's also the point of a loot-based video game. In another sense, our goals might be way different, and who knows how it'll actually work. So it's not going to be just empty vault. Now redo what you just did. So it's really tough to kind of picture that right now.
That's the thing with like all these like not DLCs, but like more so like updates, like the April update, the Rise of Iron, all those things. They came across and there was new gear, there's new things to get, new weapons, but like those sorts of things don't hold people for too long. Someone will do all that content real quick and be like, all right, that was good. Like that's it. I'm good for a little while. I'll go back to playing Overwatch. I'll go back to playing whatever. But the feeling of something brand new and the feeling of like recreating something like Destiny 1, like that feeling like going into a raid or dropping into first Crucible match with like your first exotic. That's something that you just like they're going to need if they're going to have like the full player base back again.
Yeah. And obviously it's for nostalgia's sake, but you're going to remember that feeling more than you're going to equip your old gun and tromp around the tower and go, look at me, I got my raid set. And that's fun now, but I totally see why it's happening. And I guess the last point I'll make about losing your gear is that this is so crucial for the future of balance and sandbox updates. I mean, there's going to be tons of new stuff. Just think about when they went into year 2 and there was perks like braced frame that gave you stability but reduced your mag size. Those were all new concepts, but they still had to play into stuff like perfect balance. And it added so many nuanced little things.
There's already many nuances.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going like, well, what does Guerrilla Fighter do? And it's like, well, that's one fringe case and a fringe thing. And it's all so small. So to have all of that gone, to have none of the kind of trial run stuff that was year 1, things that they didn't know how it would affect. Now they have a better idea. They're going to go into the future knowing so much more about what they want. And we won't have this stuff like, and year 1 was better because I could 2-tap with Thorn. Like, yeah, you could, but that sort of thing is not going to be what's going to be on your mind going forward, because they don't want you to worry about that. And you don't want to. You might have liked that, but you don't want to sit here and discuss which rendition of the game was your favorite. That's not fun. You want to play the game. And we're going to be able to play a game that has 3 years of experience behind it. To take all of that thing and consider it experience rather than stuff that you have. It's just experience that us as players had and Bungie as developers had.
Yeah, I like, to be honest, the best thing that could happen is taking, that beta of 3 years and creating something that's like absolutely perfect from scratch. You know what went wrong. You know what you shouldn't have done. They could fix it. They could, do all the right stuff. And in some cases, I'm hoping that less is going to be more, especially with weapons. Like,
yeah, I agree.
If they made weapons way less customizable, we would probably be in a better spot as far as balance goes.
Or more customizable, but with less variables, Yeah. I mean, imagine re-rolling with all the perks we have now and be like, all right, I'll get it on 300 tries. Maybe we can customize, but it doesn't take that long. Who knows? I don't even know.
Or even like just choosing, pick and choosing. So
yeah, or fighting, go kill 50 Hive Knights to unlock this perk or something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, like, we're obviously very much speculating at this point as to what they might be doing. So that's the gist of it, guys. There's going to be some streams coming up, 3 weeks of streams to be exact, talking about the different things, the reveal, the weekly rituals they're looking to give you, and some sandbox tuning that obviously we're going to pull apart and put back together and talk about every little aspect of it when it does drop. So
yeah,
we're excited, and you should be excited too. Hit up your buddies who've quit the game and send them these things and be like, hey, look, jump back in.
Do you see this
Get ready
fucking
for it.
armor?
Look how cool it is. He got a robot leg.
I know, right? All right, I'm going to theorize about that when my voice is back. But hey, Swain, thank you so much for having me on the show. It was a real pleasure to stop by.
I appreciate you coming by. You can come by whenever you want, man.
Oh, I appreciate that. Awesome. I'm going to go play Tomb Raider so I can finish that. And then I'm going to go buy Horizon Zero Dawn tomorrow so I can beat that before Mass Effect Andromeda comes out. And then I'm going to buy that and finish that before this damn sequel comes out, because once the sequel is out, I will never see the light of day again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Dude. I've played so much Destiny, and the thought of like a brand new version coming out and me just like there was an update for Overwatch and I stayed up till like 3 a.m. most days this week playing it. And I'm like, oh God, I'm going to be so tired.
You're done for. We're all done
for. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Bones. And hopefully next week you'll be feeling a lot better. I won't have to do this by myself.
I hope so too. All right. Later, y'all.
Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth and separated water from dry land? Brace yourself like a man and dance with me if you can.
Hey guys, this is Engineer Andrew here from the Crucible Radio team, here to talk quickly about our musical guest this week. This is fROMdUST from Omaha, Nebraska. Please, if you like these tunes, go check them out. It's fromdust.bandcamp.com. So please go check them out and, give them some downloads. And if you are a musician or an artist and you want to hear your music on our show, then it's really easy. All you got to do is send an email to crucibleradio@gmail.com. We are very much open to a lot of submissions right now, so please don't hesitate to send us an email. Thanks.
Well, God, I've heard of you, but now I see you undo me, you cut right through me.
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm here with a guest who I've been dying to talk to. His name is Caleb, and we were talking about video editing, but then I found out you play Destiny not in the US, but in some place I'm very interested about. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Caleb, and I am currently living in Japan and playing Destiny in Japan, where the meta is just mildly different. We'll go that way.
Yeah. So this is something that it's come up on the show a couple times that, obviously for matchmaking purposes, people in the US are not going to get match made with people in Japan very often. It's kind of a different market and sort of a different meta has grown up there. Tell me a little bit about how Destiny is different in Japan.
So largely, the major difference between Destiny between Japan and America is the presence of this kind of invisibility meta that's been creeping up over the past, probably the past several months here in Japan. A lot of the top tier Japanese Destiny players have been using invisibility as a method of like pushing and kind of surprise attacks, as opposed to just like the brute force American style, where we just get in there, get our picks, like push everyone really quickly, and try and close out matches really quick. It's quite a bit more a methodical and grindy here.
That's interesting. So I guess when I think of the American meta, it's just like you say, it's all about getting that first position and just collapsing. And you don't really care if they see you because you're kind of positioned well and you're moving so quick that you've got the numbers on them.
Right.
With Invis, it seems like it would support kind of a slower, more careful style.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. It's a lot more careful. It's a lot slower paced. Particularly in like the 3v3s, these kind of matches, which they're even slow in America, but it's It's a little bit slower here in Japan even. Like we're talking kind of coordinated pushes. A lot of times you'll have like one or two people even going invis and making a push on one side whilst someone comes around and flanks from the other side to draw attention. And it's hard to say. Like you really have to experience it. Like it seems like it wouldn't be like that good the way I'm describing it. You're like, no, that sounds like pretty mid-core, right? But the way some of these people's executed is great. And again, to the point, they're not just like using invisibility like as it is, because invisibility as it is in the game right now is it's okay. It's I think it's used as fodder for like low tier players a lot. Like you can get in, catch a quick pick on them, or they don't quite notice the that cool visual cue or the audio cue when you're setting up your invis. But here in Japan, they play a lot to using those cues like against you. Like they really use kind of every aspect about the mechanic. Like they'll know that you hear them go invisible, and so they'll do like something a little more unexpected, or it's used a lot for treating as well. And it plays quite a bit differently in these playlists.
So when I think of Invis, I think of really two main builds. There's the Blade Dancer Invis build, obvious choice. You can also play a Night Stalker, and then you have the ability of making your team Invis as well. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but without the sort of going invis noise that's so distinct about that crouch when you're on a hunter. I suppose you could use Kefri's Sting also. But these are all kind of hunter setups. Do you see hunter more dominant? Which one of these subclasses really is in the forefront?
Right now, definitely Blade Dancer is what is in the forefront. Absolutely. Just kind of the ability to do it without like a long melee cooldown. Is good. And like and just really quick, like the Kefri Sting, like you don't see that very often at all. You want you want to kill them with the melee. You're not really looking to get invis off of it. And
True.
Yeah, so really the invis part is like for the primary engagement of the encounter, and not so much like when you're in the middle, because now you just want to finish the fight really quickly, get out, and begin the next engagement.
Do you see increased usage of sniper rifles versus shotguns? I mean, clearly shotguns are pretty dominant right now in sort of the current balance. Do you see that shotgun usage in conjunction with invisibility, or is it sort of a safe way to snipe? I imagine that kind of goes along with a more passive kind of defensive setup.
Oh yeah, no, it's very interesting you asked that actually, because I see a lot like a more even mix here in Japan of secondary weapons. So like there are a lot of snipers. There, trust me, there are plenty of Matador 64s running around just terrorizing your day. Like that does not go away here. But I also see like a lot of the Plan C, like way more than I ever saw in America. And I'm not sure, like I didn't keep up with the last patch notes. I don't know if it got buffed or anything, but
Plan C is just an awesome gun. Swain can attest.
Oh, so good. So good.
So you kind of talked about this a little bit, but just thinking about kind of the pacing of matches, like, I can't think of a match start that doesn't begin with just like a sprint to the 50-50 and, flanks immediately and just sort of constant pressure to sort of push that front. Do you find that there's sort of a change to matches that's more about working with the team or sort of planning together and sort of picking your moment? Yeah,
in the 3v3s especially, I feel a lot more like it's picking your moment or kind of moving to a little bit more defensible position and, waiting to get the pick with a sniper rifle or, just letting them rush in and you're invis with a shotgun in their belly or something of that nature.
Yeah.
So
interesting. So yeah, that's something I've always kind of wondered about. In the first year of this show, we talked with a guy named Fizzer, who was a big-time Halo player who came over to Destiny, and he was sort of preaching the virtue of the setup, sort of the extremely defensible, very hard to break. You've got the higher ground, you've got the angles.
Oh, yeah.
It's not something we've ever really seen in tournament play, though. The sort of constant rotation and working the spawns that is sort of goes hand in hand with that kind of aggression has just been dominant. I kind of wonder, Do you still see kind of the American style play? Do they go up against each other? Do you think one is superior, or does it really change when sort of everyone has embraced the standard metagame and pretty much sticks to it?
No, we still see like that kind of high-paced American style here. Like I'm not like, in no way am I trying to say that this invisibility meta is what everyone does every game. Like like you see it a lot. Like I forget the names. There are a couple like Japanese streamers who do it pretty prominently, and like kind of the higher tier Japanese players leverage this invisibility meta a lot. But like the average like cream of the crop, if you just go into like a regular pub, like you're probably not going to see it quite as prominently, or more likely you're going to see a lot of people trying to emulate what these high tier people are doing and getting punished for it like brutally. Like,
well, I guess some things are universal.
Yeah.
I guess so. One last question that comes to mind. It seems like if you've got a team that's a high level team, you're in a threes playlist, and you're predominantly focused on invisibility. Like you say, kind of there's a level of coordination that's required.
Right.
And that's something that you don't often, I guess you don't often see in pubs. You don't see people really talking to their fire team. You don't have people doing call outs or calling pushes. And more often than not, I mean, I've gone in solo queue and tried to direct my team, and they're just going to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
do you see more kind of collaboration even among strangers?
No, not particularly. I'm not going to lie to you. Like the Japanese is a very like I don't know, isolated culture. Like there's a saying in Japanese where when you put on a mask, then you show your true self. And so like anonymity is a big part of like Japanese internet culture. And so they kind of want to do their own thing. They kind of want to play their own game, or so really it's just like within these kind of coordinated teams, so like these threes. Like again, like I said, you're not going to see it so much in sixes where you're probably going in solo queue.
So I guess, yeah, leaving out pubs then, focusing on teams, is it, if you're rolling with, the full fire team in threes, is that more common, just sort of going through your friends list, that there's a bigger expectation of coordination, of sort of team play? Yeah,
absolutely. There's a bigger expectation that people are going to know, like, kind of what we're doing. There's going to be communication. There's going to be a lot of call outs. Heavy communication emphasis for when you're playing with your friends, as opposed to in America. I'm sure we just like roll and we're like, all right, I'm going to go left. See you guys. Good luck. Like,
yeah, exactly. I'm flanking. Well, very cool. Anything else aside from sort of this different play style that's different about Destiny in Japan?
One of the major things that kind of caught me off guard but made sense when I learned a little more about it is that like for like the cosmetics, the silver system that was introduced not too long ago is not a thing in Japanese Destiny. There are a series of like small laws where preventing certain types of gambling, most gambling by Japanese law, and apparently paying real money for silver to buy random virtual items is seen as gambling in the eyes of the government. So it is it's a big no-no. There's no silver in Destiny in Japan.
Yeah. No Eververse. Well, does everyone just get those cool emotes for free, or do they just not exist?
Well, I never even like looked. Oh my god, like now that you mentioned it, I have no idea.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to research and let me know, and I'll give a little update on the show.
Yeah, do my homework, and I'll shoot you an email for sure.
If I can't do my tiny kicks, I don't want to play Destiny anymore. It's just not worth it.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, thank you so much for finally sort of pulling back the curtain on this thing I've wondered about for so long. If people want to check you out on the internet, where can they find you?
They can find me on my YouTube channel. It's called Rainfall Review, spelled exactly like you would think. And there I review Japanese exclusive games, or games that come out in Japan like months, sometimes years before they come out in America.
Oh. All right. Well, I can vouch for it. Go check them out, Rainfall Review. And Caleb, thanks for talking to me.
Thanks for having me on.
Coming with those shining eyes, hiding behind all the lies that you're so confident.
Boy, what a long episode. Multiple days recording with two people. They didn't even stick around to finish out the episode with me. Just here by myself. It's such a long day. Morning Bodes' voice, and Birds just up and leaving. It's tough. Well, as always, everyone, look for me on the space internet, crucibleradio.com. Send me some condolences